YouTube! A lot of you write in the comments, Josh, don't you ever have any successful dates? Yes, I do. Today, I'm gonna tell you about one of them. In my next video, I'll tell you about the other one. Our story begins last summer when my roommate Brad, you remember Brad, here's a picture of us trying to look cool, asked me, Josh, would you ever consider dating another amputee? And I was like, no way. Because if we were out on a date, everybody would be looking at us and making jokes like, oh, look, they only have 6 limbs between them. Or what if it was a triple amputee, you know, someone who just had 1 arm and no legs? Then people would be like, oh, look, that person has 1 limb and this other guy has 3 limbs. It's like one whole person together. Ha ha ha. Or worst of all would be the people who would be like, oh, isn't it sweet that the 2 amputees found each other since clearly no one else would ever date them. So no, I would not date another amputee. Well, a few weeks later, an attractive girl stopped me on the sidewalk and asked for directions to a certain church. Now, as a general rule, if an attractive girl stops me on the sidewalk and asks for directions, the place she's trying to go just happens to be the same place I'm going, and I offered to walk there with her. Now, in this particular case, I actually was on my way to that church, so I offered to walk with her and didn't have to lie about it, which would have been a problem since we were on our way to church. Now, as we walked, I determined several facts. Number 1, she was attractive. Number 2, therefore I was going to ask her on a date. And number 3, I happened to look down and notice that she had a fake hand. Dun dun dun. That's not a fake hand, that's actually just a picture of my hand. This was a total disaster because I'd already made a commitment to myself that I would never date another amputee. But here I was, already attracted to this girl, already having decided I wanted to ask her out. It's like falling for someone and then finding out that she is your cousin. I know, because that actually happened to me in 2007, but that's a totally different story. Well, ultimately I decided that I liked her enough that I would ask her to have coffee after church. She was really cool. She was in college on summer break, and it turns out she played varsity soccer for a D1 school in the Midwest. As you know, I used to be a professional ski racer, so we were both like athletes, you know, we had stuff in common. Now here's the crazy part. We hung out for 2 hours, and not once did either of us mention or in any way acknowledge the fact that we were both amputees. Now, this might sound crazy to you, but let me explain. A lot of times people ask me, Josh, if I meet a person with a disability, what should I say? And I've always felt that this is a silly question because why do you feel the need to say anything? Like, when I meet an Asian person, I don't feel an obligation to say, oh, I see that you're Asian. And so I think that the reason the one-armed girl and I never talked about how we both were amputees is because not discussing it was a sign of respect. A way of saying, when I look at you, I see first and foremost a person I am attracted to. The disability is not the most important thing. Well, I got her number and I wanted to see her again, but she was just in town for the summer and she went home like 2 days later. So it didn't turn out well, but I do consider that a successful first date. So yes, I occasionally do have successful dates. Anyway, I wanted to record this video because October is Disability Awareness Month. So I hope that if you meet a person with a disability, you will see them as a person, not a disability. Thanks for watching, and we should hang out sometime.
A-M-P-U-T-E-E. Listen up, people, don't feel sorry for me. A-M-P-U-T-E-E. The glass is half full, yeah, I still got 3.